This is CPM Precalculus, Chapter 2, number 90. So here we're going to let f of x be defined as our piecewise function. Right? We have one piece being 2 minus x squared for x is less than or equal to 1, and the other piece is x for x is greater than 1. All right. So part A, we're asked to go ahead and see g of x is defined to be f of x plus 2. Sketch the graphs of f of x and g of x on the same axes. So here I have one set of axes, x and y axis, and let's go ahead and sketch the graphs of f of x and g of x as requested. Alright, so over here I know f of x, right? I'm going to use red to draw f of x, and I know that it has two pieces, right? So one piece is going to be the equation y is equal to 2 minus x squared. And the other piece is going to be y is equal to x, right? So 2 minus x squared, I can look at that and I already know the parent function, right, is going to be x squared is the parent. And that goes through two transformations. One, the negative here means it's going to be reflected, right? Reflected across our x-axis. And this is plus 2, right? And that means it's shifted up 2 units. Shift up 2 units. All right? So reflected across the x-axis, well, we know that x squared starts like this, right? So reflected means it's going to be down like this, right? But then we want to shift it up 2 units. So instead of starting at 0, 0, it's going to start at 0, 2, right? And these are some key points, right? It's going to hit these values going down, right? Right. But again, what do we need to know for a piecewise function is we're looking just for x is less than or equal to 1. Okay, so where is that? X is equal to 1 at this line right here, right? X equals to 1. So that means we're only going to draw this graph. It's going to be starting here at x equals to 1, and we're not going to draw it past that on the right. It's just less than or equal to 1, right? So we have the arrow there, but it stops here, and it's a closed circle because I have the or equals. All right. The other piece now is y is equal to x, right? And I know that that is just in the form of y equals to mx plus b, with our b being 0. So it's going to cross the origin. The slope is up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, right? So it's basically the line like this, right? But again, I need to make sure I consider it's just for when x is greater than 1. So I'm going to go ahead and start with x. Remember here, x equals to 1. So I'm going to start here, x is equal to 1, but I'm going to have an open circle here, and it's going to go to the right, right? Just like this. And since, oops, let me draw a little neater. It's a line. And since our open circle and closed circle sit on the same point, and only because of that, then it closes, right? We had an open circle and the closed circle, so then the combined is going to be a closed point there. All right, so this is f of x, right, and it's made with these two pieces. Let's now sketch g of x. So g of x is just f of x plus 2, right? And since the plus 2 is outside of the parentheses here, it means we're going to shift f of x up 2 units. So everything in f of x is shifted up 2 units to make g of x, right? So g of x is in blue, and I'm just shifting every point up 2 units, right? This point goes up 2 units. This point goes up 2 units. And it's just going to look like this for the parabola, right? And then up 2 units. This goes up 2 units. This point goes up 2 units, right? Everything goes up 2 units, and it's looking like this. All right, so these are the sketches here. The sketches right over here on this axis x and y axis over here. So let's go into part B. B, we're supposed to write an equation to represent g of x. So you know g of x is equal to f of x plus 2, right? Well, what is f of x? Let's go ahead and substitute f of x, right? So we know f of x is just 2 minus x squared, right? If x is less than or equal to 1, and x if x is greater than 1. And we want to add 2 to our function here, right? So we add 2, right? This 2 does not change x at all, so we leave these x's here unchanged, right? These only change if we're changing our x values, right? But we're not changing x, we're just adding 2 outside, so that's how we do, we add 2 here outside. Let's simplify this. The 2 and the 2 here combine to make 4, okay? So that's equal to 4. Right, that's 4, the 2 and the 2 here, right? 4 minus x squared, don't forget the x squared, and here we still have x plus 2, and we still have if x is less than or equal to 1, and if x is greater than 1. So this is our g of x defined and simplified. Alright, that ends CPM Precalculus Chapter 2, number 90.